Hey everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Almost Fiction's After Show. If you haven't yet, please go listen to the case on Kevin Lloyd Artz before coming back and listening to me ramble my opinion. So this one, like I said, is about Kevin Lloyd Artz. If you haven't listened yet, like I said, check out your favorite podcast player for Almost Fiction, the podcast, and listen to Kevin Lloyd Artz, and then meet me right back here. For everyone else who's here on purpose because they know what's going on, welcome. So, like I said, like 5 times now, this is the case on Kevin Lloyd Artz. It was a short case. There wasn't a lot of information on this case, but I want, just as a quick review, if you haven't listened to it for a minute, Kevin Lloyd Artz owned a restaurant with his wife, Patty. He has a brain issue, aneurysm, pre-aneurysm. I'm not a doctor. I can't remember what the exact word is. Anyways, he needed surgery to fix something in his brain, a bleed that had happened. He had a clot, and he needed that clot removed or else it could cause problems. So he gets it removed, and very shortly afterward, kills his wife, and then tries to hide it, cover it up. So I think the first question, and remember, this is all my opinions. That's what this show's for, is for my opinions. I try to leave my opinions out of the case, even though sometimes they come through with mostly in the form of sarcasm, I've noticed. But the question is whether or not you believe that Kevin Artz was insane. The jury said that he wasn't. The prosecutors said that he wasn't. His defense team said that he was, though I don't know if they even believed it themselves. I mean, they pretended to at the very least. So it's hard because there are a lot of markers that you would associate with this being, an insanity case. But I think that they're like, the low-level markers. What I'm trying to say is, for example, yes, there were symptoms and signs of things, but they were like the very bare minimum, if that makes sense, to even qualify as being like suspicious. So yes, he had brain surgery, but the area of his brain that they went into, A, they didn't cause any further damage. B, that part of the brain doesn't regulate what the defense was saying was wrong with Kevin. I believe they were talking about it being only affecting really his language centers. So yeah, he had those problems in his recovery. His dad noticed those, like he was having a hard time saying colors because he couldn't think of the right word, which is normal for the kind of surgery he had. But what's not normal is murdering the devil after you've had that surgery, that specific surgery in that very specific place. So me personally, I think the jury made the right decision. I don't think he was insane. I think that he had issues. We all have issues, but that doesn't mean we get to just kill people, right? That doesn't mean that we black out for no reason. And then on top of that, like, yes, he had quit cold turkey his prescription medications. There was other things. He tried to claim marijuana psychosis, which, no, I don't buy that. I mean, it's possible, but I also don't think it's what happened, because think about it this way. If you like blacked out and woke up and there was someone dead, right? Would you then start cooking them and throwing their body in the trash? I wouldn't. I would call someone, right? Eventually, I don't know if I'd call the police first, because I would have no idea what's going on. Eventually, though, the police would get called. Eventually, though, it's like, I don't know what happened. Like, that's the thing about insanity, is if it was temporary and you come out of it, no one's immediate goal is going to be to cook the person they killed. Right? Especially after that was something they discussed with their friend years prior. So that was like the aha moment for me, was when some of his friends had talked about, and family had talked about, how he had mentioned doing this in the past. One of his friends said that Kevin literally told him, if I was ever to kill someone, I would chop them up and cook them and throw them away in the garbage, which is exactly what he did, right? And so people be like, but what if he What if that was just he had already made those plans hypothetically and he went, no, I'm not buying that. So, and you might hate me for it, but I'm very lovable, so get over it. So that's kind of my opinion, right? I don't think he was insane. I think he knew what he was doing. I think he did it on purpose. What I do think is that I don't think he realized the exact repercussions that were going to happen. And, but that doesn't change the fact that it was premeditated. It's like instant regret does not mean insanity at the time. That's not how that works. So, one of the other things that really bugged me that I really wanted to go after was him he's called the deep fry killer, okay? The deep fry killer. They don't really know exactly what he did. They know, that there was some baking involved, some broiling involved, maybe some deep frying. I can't remember, honestly. Like I've told you before, my brain is a sieve. But here's the thing, the restaurant was never open between the time he had his surgery and the time that he was arrested and sent to jail. Okay? It was never opened. Like, the dude is still recovering from actual brain surgery, right? Like, that did happen. There's a recovery period time for that. Okay? Was he well enough to kill his wife and begin to hide her body slowly over time? Yes. It was not well enough to open his restaurant, especially when the host, front of house person is gone. So the restaurant was never open. He never cooked his wife and fed it to people. Sometimes, a lot of times I agree with the phrases, you can't hate the media enough. Okay, there are a lot of times where it's all about clicks, and it's just, even if they correct themselves later, the headline's already there. Like, a lot of people only read headlines, okay? And putting, like, salacious things in headlines that you then walk back, or halfway back, or whatever you want to say it, in the actual article. So it's like the phrase, a lot of people, did you actually read the article? Like, that shouldn't even be a thing, because you should be reading the article, right? And B, the headlines shouldn't be, like, you can have an eye-catching headline without lying through your teeth, okay? Nobody knows if he deep-fried the person. Nobody knows if he deep-fried Patty, okay? And he didn't feed her to anybody. Like, oh my God. Can you tell? Can you tell how much this irks me, how much this gets under my skin? And before I completely fly off the handle, before I just completely lose it, okay, I'm just going to move on. But shame on you. Whoever dubbed him the deep fry killer, shame, eternal shame on you. So, I have some bullet points here. But, and I'm reading them, I'm sorry. I wasn't as prepared as I would like to be. But, like, rest in peace, Patty. Because getting murdered is a horrible way to die. Getting bludgeoned, I can't even, I can try to imagine it, but I just can't even imagine being bludgeoned to death. And then, like, I feel so bad for her family. Like, forever she'll be known as the person who was, cooked after she was dead. Just that's one of those images I had a hard time getting out of my head for a long time. It's still there, is her head in a box, like her cooked head in a box. Like, that was, like, very much a, one of those things that is going to stick. Like, that's one of the things that's not going to sift out through my sieve of a brain. So, okay. The other thing is, there are some defense attorneys, and, like, I get they're doing their job, but at some point, like, they're hurting everyone by just trying to throw anything at the wall, saying what sticks, right? Like, appeals for the dumbest reasons. Like, people have to show up, we have to pay them. They're getting paid by the hour in most cases, so of course they're going to try to stretch it out as long as they can. And so, like, appealing on and having one person, look at one, that's one finger, The short little sausage finger. One person says, well, he could have had marijuana induced psychosis, okay? And so, let's just run with that and waste everyone's time and taxpayers' money and get people's hopes up, in Kip's side, anyone who wants him to get out for whatever dumb reason. Like, it's just a waste of time. Like, marijuana-induced psychosis. Like, I don't see that happening. I live in Oregon. There's a lot of people on marijuana. Lots and lots. Like, almost everyone's on marijuana here. Except for, 10 people. Like, it's ridiculous. Okay? Every time I see people that are high, they're just, all they want to do is, eat chips and sit on the couch. That's it. That's all they want to do. Or they're just trying to get through their day. Just trying to take the edge off. Whatever. Whatever for you smoke marijuana, that's up to you. But I don't know any stoners, and I know quite a few stoners who have decided that they're going to murder the devil after they got high. And these are people who've been, chronic users, right? So, in my opinion, I don't think marijuana-induced psychosis is permission for you to murder someone and then not have to spend the rest of your life in jail. But that's just me. That's why we're here. So, I mean, there's just so much going on here, right? People want to go, but why did he kill Patty? And there's lots of reasons why. He was a kind of an a-hole. Pardon my French, Mom. He's kind of an a-hole. Kip was, if you just look at everything. He may or may not have been faithful the whole time. And their whole marriage, even though they hid it, there were always issues, right? He tried to kill her once before. That should have been the ultimate red flag, is waking up with someone trying to smother you with a pillow and then just forgiving them. I couldn't do it. Not me. But I don't know what it's like to be in an extremely abusive relationship. So that's also goes into that. So, and the thing is about, I just don't like this dude. I don't like him. He tried to blame everyone else for his issues. I think he wanted out of his marriage. I think he just liked being single and being able to go out and do what he wanted when he wanted, all that stuff. And I think Patty, he literally tried to kill this woman and she stuck around. So it's what does he have to do to get rid of her? If you look at it from that angle. So, I mean, I don't know if he's getting desperate and, this might sound dumb, but, maybe that's what it was. Either way, it doesn't matter because he did it and there's evidence he did it. It's just we're stuck figuring out the why. And in my very humble opinion, I think he just wanted to change and he went about it the very wrongest way possible. It's hard. Anytime there's a death, anytime any of this stuff is hard. And even though I deal with this stuff every day, make episodes about it every day, it's still hard. And, just take my opinion for what it's worth, which isn't a lot. But, yeah, it's just a sad case all around. It's just sad. That was not a happy relationship. I think it started out as a happy relationship, but I think shortly it wasn't. I think that anytime we meet someone new, we kind of have our meet new people, not necessarily a mask, but I think a lot of people, they watch what they say, right? Sometimes you might adjust your language, either make it more colorful or less colorful depending on who you're talking to. I don't think a lot of people do that, to a huge extent, but I think that after the newness of the relationship wore off and you learn a lot about people when you're around them a lot after they're tired and annoyed and all that kind of stuff. And I think that a lot of things came out, but I also think they were a little bit older and they were just trying to make it work. But sometimes you can't make it work if one of those people really doesn't want it to work, whether they admit it or not. So, take my ramblings for what they're worth. Like, literally, I think the exchange rate right now, last time I checked, is like 2.7 cents. So, take my ramblings and change them for 2.7 cents. But it's just, yeah, I mean, like I said, it was a short case. There's not a lot on it, and most of it, I talked about it in the case, but these are my opinions, however good or horrible you think they are. Remember to hit that like button like everyone asks you. There's a reason for that. It's to help the show grow. It's to help the show up sooner on searches. It's to help the show up, higher on results. So please, if you can, just hit that like button and review. And if you want me to do the same for you, shoot me an email. We'll tradesies. We'll do tradesies. So email me at almostfictionpod@gmail.com. That's almostfictionpod@gmail.com. So hit me up with any questions. If you want a case that you want to see, shoot that over as well. Join me on Facebook. I post stuff over there that you can read and enjoy. There's also other people that you can interact with as well. So, once again, sorry for this episode and then the ramblingness. It's been very busy, working on a very big case right now. A lot of information. Like, if you want the deep dive, then check out what I have in stores for you. So, thank you, everyone. Appreciate your support. Let me know. I have some stickers floating around, so let me know if you guys want some of those. And I can mail them out and stuff, and you can pay me to give you stickers. Because that sounds fun. Right? To steal a very famous catchphrase, hugs everybody.